My mother kept a detailed diary of every time my husband cheated on me. She'd been documenting his affairs for 3 years and never told me. Let me take you back to how this all started. I thought I had the perfect marriage. David and I had been together for 8 years, married for 5. We had our dream house, 2 beautiful kids, and what everyone called couple goals. My mother Linda absolutely adored David. She'd always say he was the son she never had, and honestly, sometimes I felt like she loved him more than she loved me. Mom lived just 10 minutes away and came over constantly. She'd bring cookies for the kids, help with laundry, and David would light up whenever she walked through the door. They had inside jokes, shared looks, and this weird bond that made me feel like the outsider sometimes. But I was grateful. Not everyone gets along with their mother-in-law, right? The small signs were there, but I was blind to them. David started working late more often. His phone was always face down. He'd shower the moment he got home, claiming he felt gross from work. When I'd suggest date nights, he'd say he was too tired. Our intimacy died slowly, but he blamed stress. What I found strange was how my mother always seemed to know when David was working late. She'd call those exact evenings to check on me. "How are you holding up tonight, sweetheart?" she'd ask. "Is David working again?" Something about her tone felt knowing. But I pushed that thought away. Then Mom got sick. Pancreatic cancer, diagnosed in October. She fought hard for 4 months, but in February, we lost her. David was devastated. He cried at her funeral harder than I did, which honestly hurt. She was my mother. While cleaning out her house, I found her bedroom diary hidden in her nightstand. Mom had always been a writer, so I wasn't surprised. I thought reading it might help me feel close to her again. The first entry that caught my eye was dated 2 years ago. David was at the Hampton Inn again today. Room 237. The brunette from his office building. Sarah keeps making excuses for him, but I can't watch this anymore. My hand started shaking. What was she talking about? I flipped through more pages. Entry after entry, all about David. Dates, times, locations, women's names I'd never heard. She'd followed him. She'd documented everything. Photos tucked between pages showed David holding hands with different women, kissing them, entering hotel rooms. March 15th, David told Sarah he's working late. He's actually at Rebecca's apartment on Elm Street. 3rd time this week. My daughter deserves so much better, but how do I tell her? How do I destroy her world? June 2nd, saw David at the mall with the redhead again. They were picking out jewelry together. He bought her a necklace identical to Sarah's anniversary gift. I wanted to march over there and slap him. September 10th, David brought his latest conquest to our favorite restaurant. The one where he proposed to Sarah. The disrespect is unbelievable. I took pictures from the parking lot. Evidence for when Sarah's ready to know the truth. Page after page. Woman after woman. My perfect husband had been cheating our entire marriage, and my mother had been his unwilling witness to all of it. But then I found something that made my blood freeze. An entry from just 2 months before she died. I finally confronted David today. Told him I knew everything. He broke down crying, begged me not to tell Sarah. Said he'd stop, that he loved her, that it was just weakness. I'm dying, and all I want is for my daughter to be happy. Maybe he really will change. Maybe I should take this secret to my grave. She protected him. Even while dying, she protected my cheating husband over her own daughter. The final entry, written in shaky handwriting just days before she passed, David's at it again. Saw him with a blonde at the coffee shop yesterday. He looked me straight in the eye and smiled, like he knew I'd never tell. He was right. I'm too weak, too sick, too scared to break Sarah's heart. I'm leaving this diary for her to find someday. She deserves the truth, even if I'm too cowardly to give it to her myself. I sat on my mother's bedroom floor and sobbed. Not just for the betrayal, but for my mother's pain. She'd carried this burden alone, protecting me from the truth while watching my marriage crumble from the inside. When David came to pick me up from Mom's house, he found me holding the diary. "Sarah? What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." "I have," I whispered. "Tell me about Rebecca. And the redhead from the mall. And room 237 at the Hampton Inn." His face went white. Then he tried to lie, stammered excuses, but I had photos. I had dates. I had 3 years of meticulous documentation. "Your mother knew?" he finally asked. "She knew everything, David. She followed you. She watched you humiliate me over and over, and she never told me because she was trying to protect me." That's when he said something that changed everything. "Linda promised she'd never tell you. We had an understanding." "An understanding? My dying mother and my cheating husband had an understanding? What kind of understanding, David?" He looked trapped. She said if I stopped, she wouldn't tell you. But I couldn't stop, Sarah. I have a problem." She knew I had a problem. "So you both decided what was best for my life without asking me?" "She was trying to protect you." "No, David. You were both protecting yourselves." I filed for divorce the next week. Used every single photo, every documented date, every piece of evidence Mom had gathered. David's lawyer called it an unprecedented level of documentation. The settlement was swift and brutal. I got the house, full custody, and alimony that'll last until the kids graduate college. But the most satisfying moment came during mediation. David's lawyer argued that the diary entries were hearsay, that a sick woman's writings couldn't be trusted. I pulled out the final envelope I'd found tucked in the diary's back cover. Inside were receipts. Hotel receipts, restaurant receipts, jewelry store receipts, all in David's name, all on dates when he was supposedly working late. Mom hadn't just watched and written. She'd followed him into parking lots and collected his discarded evidence. "Your Honor," I said, "my mother wasn't just documenting infidelity. She was building a legal case. Even while dying, she was protecting her daughter's future." David broke down crying right there in the mediation room. Not from remorse, but from the realization that a dying woman had outsmarted him completely. "My mother gave me the greatest gift imaginable, the truth, wrapped in love, delivered exactly when I was strong enough to handle it. She couldn't face destroying my world while she was alive, but she made sure I'd have the power to rebuild it on my own terms after she was gone. I'm not angry with her anymore. She did what she thought was right with the time she had left. And now I'm raising my children to understand that love isn't about protecting people from the truth, it's about trusting them to handle it." Have you experienced something like this? Tell me in the comments.